Diana Denmark here, rah rah rah. Welcome back to another Hygge chat across the kitchen table here in Denmark. And look at that, we have snow here in Copenhagen this morning, so it's all looking very festive. A couple of things for you. This will be the last day that I'm checking with you about our Hygge Christmas planning and a few reminders of what we're doing this week to keep our homes clean and cozy. And before we get started, make sure you go and get yourself a nice hot drink, pen and paper. You don't need to be printing out anything. I've got some spiced tea in my LLAP mug this morning. If you're in the southern hemisphere, you probably want to have a nice iced drink. Anyway, let's dive straight into it. And I think we'll start with the planning. And I'm keeping all my notes from the last few weeks. I think it's going to be really useful for next year to see what I was doing when. And the point of this planning is to take away the overwhelm, because I know a lot of you, just even the thought of Thanksgiving, Christmas, Ramadan, whatever it is, all the things that we have to do, decorate, buy, clean, and we've just broken it down to make sure that we're keeping going with our self-care, with our meal planning. So I'll just go through my list for this week and tell you what I've been up to. 21st of November, and on my shopping list this week, this is in addition to my usual grocery list, and I've put down Kernel milk. Now, Kernel milk is a soured milk product, and the only time of year that I buy Kernel milk is in the run up to Christmas, because my husband will be making Æbleskiver, which is the Danish Christmas donuts. Now, if you don't know what those are, or you want to know how to make them, you will need a special pan. I've got a video about that. My husband's making them this weekend because the kids are coming for the first Advent Sunday. Also know many of you will be celebrating Thanksgiving at the end of this week. Here in Denmark, obviously we don't have Thanksgiving, but we do have kind of Black Friday thing, Black Friday week. And I've actually used that to my advantage, because I had my list of gifts that I wanted to get, and last week they already started the Black Friday offers, and the kids, they both wanted a new electric toothbrush. And guess what? I had them in my cart, and then the offer came up and I got them for half price. So be very careful with the offers that you see, but when you have your list written down, you can really use those offers to your advantage. So I've got the electric toothbrushes and they're already wrapped up. Woohoo, go me. But also here, instead of Black Friday, we've got Green Friday, and I will be doing that with my friend Erica from America. We're doing that on Friday, and Green Friday is the opposite of Black Friday. There are lots of places who are doing swaps, you know, like the clothes swaps that we have. It's a public swap where you take along anything that you don't use or need or love. It could be books, it can be household items, it can be clothes, and you can just take anything that you want from the swap. So I'm doing that with Erica, and maybe I'll come home with some Christmas gifts. On to projects and gifts. I've got a couple of things that I want to get this week. Some mugs for Mum to take over to Edinburgh. We're going to Edinburgh soon. Also, I'm working on a photo book for Mum. My mum likes to have, you know, either a photo book or a calendar, and it's got photos of the kids and me and hubby, that kind of thing. Oh, and I must tell you a funny story, because I had some things sent to Mum that we can pick up when we're in Edinburgh. It was to save shipping if it's stuff coming from the UK. And my brother phoned me and said, oh, Mum received this Nick Cave t-shirt, and she thought it was for her. It's for my husband. And I just had these visions of my mum walking around in a Nick Cave t-shirt. Not that she wouldn't look good in it, because my mum can tell you anything about punk music. Mum's like 86. And she knows all about punk music, and she can tell you about Joy Division and Elvis Costello. So anyway, so a little fun thing about that. Clean and decorate. We're in Flylady Zone 4, but I'll hand you over to Diane, who is on location. And a little reminder to keep going with those basics, keep going with your daily routines. And this week we are in Flylady Zone 4, the bedroom, keeping it clean and cozy, so we've got a nice place where we can kind of retreat to when it all gets too much. And if you're not getting to the zone work, I know why that's happening. Don't do any zone work until you've done your weekly power hour, your upkeep clean. But I know that some of you, you're spending too long on doing your power hour. And remember, it's just the high traffic areas of the house. The high traffic areas of our house, that's the hall where we come into the house, the living room, the kitchen and the bathroom on the ground floor. Once I've done that, then I get to do a little bit of work in the zones. But remember, when you're doing your power hour, 10 minutes, only 10 minutes on each task. I like to do it the old-fashioned way. I've got my timer, and I use that because what happens is sometimes if you say, oh yeah, I'm just going to start hoovering, and then before you know it, you've been hoovering everything and an hour is gone. That's not the point of it. It's a quick upkeep clean, and then we get to move on to the zones. And remember to add a little bit of coziness or hygge to your bedroom. I always have a candle going when I get ready in the morning. Remember to shop your house. Maybe you can move a plant from another area or bring in a nice blanket and put that on your bed. And a couple of other things that I'm doing this week. I will be tidying out my makeup, washing my makeup brushes, and also putting together my Christmas outfits. We got that out of the way, all your gotta do's this week. I'll also be doing a spot of decorating. I keep my Christmas boxes by area. So when I put Christmas away, I pack down by area. So I've got a box for the hall, I've got a box for the kitchen, I've got a box for the living room. So I'm starting to decorate this week, and it's just kind of winter decorations. I'm not the full-blown Christmas stuff yet. Because as I said, the kids are coming for Advent Sunday, so I want the place to look nice and festive. Well-being, I'm doing really well with my running. I was out at the weekend. Oh my goodness, it's been below freezing. Really, really strong blustery winds, but I've been doing it. I'm hoping to do an evening dip this week, hopefully in the snow. Winter reading, I'm listening to a really good audiobook at the moment. I've written down the name, Fatal Night by Faith Martin, and she's a new author for me, but the narration is really good, and it's set actually at New Year. I think it's in Oxford in the 1950s, and it's just a really cosy one, a cosy crime mystery for me to listen to while I'm doing my chores around the house or when I'm doing a spot of wrapping. Meal plan, I've got ideas written down for that. For my last section here, I need to finalise a few things for Edinburgh, for us going to Edinburgh. The car is getting its winter tyres on. I'd actually booked that last week, and look what happened. Here comes the snow. The car is getting its winter tyres on tomorrow. And also I did a check at the weekend just to make sure the garden was kind of ready for winter. And my focus for the week, deck the halls, starting to decorate. Also, I want to do one last check and make sure that I've bought all the non-perishables that we can get now, because the shops are starting to get busy. Even if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving, even if you don't celebrate Christmas, do yourself a favour and stock up with things, because everybody's going to be out and about and you want to avoid those crowds. And your stocking mission for the week. Remember, we've been buying ourselves a little thing for ourselves for our own Christmas stocking, and we've done something sweet, savoury, something like a book or a magazine, Sudoku. I've ordered this one and it's turned up, and I'm looking forward to wrapping that. Last week I ordered some slippers, so those are on the way. And I've got one last mission for you. As part of your stocking, I want you to either put aside some money, if you still use cash. We're kind of like a cashless society here. I'm going to do an IOU to myself. But I want you to write down that you're going to do something in January, and that can either be something like going to afternoon tea with a friend, or maybe going to the movies, but just meeting up with a friend to do something, or with family, or do it on your own. So something that you have that you open up in your Christmas stocking, but something you have to look forward to in the month of January. A few updates from last week. I got my wrapping done, and do you remember I bought quite a few things like chocolates and biscuits, clutter-free gifts, like little hostess gifts, because I'm going to be going to quite a lot of small functions and parties where I need a little thing to take with me. And what I do is I wrap them up so they're all ready to go, and then I can just pick something before I go. And I write down what is on it. So I put a little post-it note, whether that is a gingerbread man cake or geisha chocolates. And then when I'm going to the party, obviously I remove the little post-it, and then I'll put in a little bit of greenery. We've got lots of spruce trees in the garden. Add a little bit of greenery and I'm good to go. And vis-a-vis the gifts for the kids and the kids' gift for us, My kids and my husband, they have quite a nice tradition now where my husband meets the kids in town and they go out for a hot chocolate, or maybe they'll go out for an early dinner. And the kids, they like to buy my husband books. My husband loves books. You've seen all the books that we have in the house. So, and my husband reads, he's Danish, he reads in English, but he also reads in French because we both worked at the European Court of Justice, so we both speak and read French. And they go to the French bookshop here in Copenhagen, and my husband will point out a couple of books that he would quite like, and then he goes out of the shop and the kids buy one and have it wrapped. So he knows what he's getting, but it's a surprise. And they really like that little Christmas tradition that they have. And I'll be doing the same with the kids, and it's just a really nice way to see them the next couple of weeks because they're busy with university. But we'll get together and, as I said, have a hot chocolate, look at the decorations in town and pick up a couple of gifts. And I'm beginning to feel a bit of the Christmas spirit. At the weekend I went to the Swedish church bazaar. I told you about that last week. And it's just such a nice atmosphere. I won a couple of things in their food tombola, including this one. I actually quite like this chocolate bar. And the name of it in Swedish is Skåde. And it's got like Scottish tartan on it. And of course I'm from Scotland, so I always think it's quite funny that I'm eating a Scot. And as I said, this is the end of our Hygge Christmas planning. You can still use the sheets moving on, but from now on my videos up to Christmas, I will be taking you out and about in Copenhagen. So all I've got left to say is live long and prosper. May the snowy Hygge be with you, and I'll see you very soon with the ra, ra, ra. Okay, bye for now.